tell you when to do it. There we go.
Okay. So we'll officially open this meeting tonight. I don't know the date.
18.
18th.
January 18, 2023. So,
6:05.
6:05. All right. So it's gonna review the minutes. Oh, what's the minutes?
Minutes.
It should be, as you open up your folders, you should have,
Well, I've got 3 months worth of stuff here.
you should have the November minutes.
November minutes. Okay.
That was our last meeting.
October. Oh, there it is. Okay. I wasn't here. Gonna review the minutes from November.
I think it's fine. I don't see anything.
Me either. Since I wasn't here.
That's right, you weren't even there. So have the minutes
Yeah.
been accepted?
Yeah. Make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
I
Okay. We just got.
stormwater.
Yeah. Every folder has a stormwater, application in it for the lots, 1 to 7 on Chapin Road. Those are the, ones being built by Bedrock. Colby gave me a copy of all of the stormwater applications. There isn't really too much that, of input that we can have, but I did make copies for everyone if you were interested in looking at them.
I'm
They're all
coughing, but I don't
stapled
have anything.
together.
It's just allergies. I'm real allergic to dust mites.
Ted,
Yes, ma'am.
are we allowed to ask them to put boundary markers?
I think we did, didn't we? Or no?
We had
Um,
discussed it with the Audubon people.
Audubon was, we gave them a copy of the types of, markers that we use
Oh, okay.
at the, November meeting. And,
It would make life so much easier, especially for their monitor.
yeah, and they said that they took the copy, along with them, but, they also said that they have their own markers that they put in.
Okay,
Now,
that's cool.
Cindy, when you travel on Chapin, have you noticed any signs, like right behind where they're clearing for the homes?
Yeah,
that
you can see,
Audubon had put up?
I don't think they're Audubon. You can see that he's got all of his silt fence up, and then you can see there's white rectangular, like regular street signs that are on the trees that are at the back border. So they may be Audubon signs. They're not legible from the street, but they are across the back of the property.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I did see those,
I
yeah.
don't know. That just came up.
Yeah, and he's really, he's
Let me
got
see.
it very, very well marked and
Joe.
protected.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
no.
Okay,
Everybody else in the meeting?
there's somebody in the waiting room.
She just entered
Yeah, I entered him, but it says he's still joining.
So. The Audubon thing, is that? On the minutes, this one.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing that this?
No,
Okay.
no, Audubon, the land behind those homes
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just the land behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, that's not that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's all owned by Audubon. That's what they want us to take out of the CR on, because they can't own it and have the CR on. All right, so,
He wants to build this.
yeah, they're very,
Budding, yeah.
they're very, very, the depth of those lots is very little. But what do you want? The next thing that we should review is probably, the Eversource, gas.
Well,
And everyone, does not have a copy of that because it was too
Yeah,
much
well,
copy.
here's in your email.
I did send it to everybody.
Yeah.
I know you read it.
Yeah, I have a copy.
I didn't send you a copy?
No, I do have a copy.
Oh, yeah, and Cindy has a copy.
after Bonnie and I met today, I ran by and took a couple of pictures to add to what they had in their form.
That was helpful, Ted.
Mhm.
So
So,
my main concern was not them putting the pipe over the bridge. That didn't bother me at all.
Yeah,
What it's the proximity that the wetlands are real close to the road, both sides.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
issue to
and we
me.
want to go right alongside the pond, on the pond side of the road. Which doesn't make any sense, but.
Isn't there? Does the pond go onto the road? Is there a bridge there? Or
Yeah.
am I think?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
There's
how
a
are they-
stream that runs under the road, but
It's
but
dry.
the marsh boggy thing actually is all on that side. And then there's a separate marsh bog down
Okay, so
farther
they are-
on the
Yeah.
south side.
Okay, so they are separate. I couldn't
But-
remember.
But
Yeah,
that,
they're separate, but
that-
both of them have their buffers that run into the road.
Right.
but as I indicated on the pictures I sent, that swale area, which is the scantic overflow that feeds into the pond.
Right.
Is, even though there's no standing water, it's mucky.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's very wet. Because I wouldn't doubt that during the winter, a couple of times, water may have flowed through there.
if you wanna live-
I'd like to ask them to put boundary markers on the buffer right next to the right next to where the pipe comes through. So that when trucks go down there to work, they'll know where they can't go.
Actually, if you look at the GIS, they can't go much of anywhere off the road. I don't care which side you go on,
Yeah, it's true.
there's really absolutely no room on either
Yeah,
side of that road.
Yeah, I'm afraid what they're gonna do is they're going to try to drive onto the Frederick's lawn and work from there, and they don't have much space there. So I wanted to see if we could get boundary markers that would keep them from going into the marsh from that side off their driveway.
So what they're looking for from us right now is, what do we want them to file? Do we want them to file an RDA or an NOI?
I think I don't know why.
Judy, what do you think?
Yeah, my first intuition was an RDA with a bunch of conditions, but we need conditions for sure. So whatever you're comfortable with adding conditions to, I think is what we should do. We need a lot of extra conditions about the kind Andrew likes to add about storm, dirt piles coverage and trenches being filled in and all that sort of stuff. So because it's very close, even the tiniest bit of drainage is going to go into the wetlands. So if you think we could do it on an RDA, I'd be fine with that. If you think it should be an NOI, I'm also fine with that.
Well, I had asked Bonnie today, to find the one they did, Summers Road.
Mhm.
And I think that you said it was an NOI, right?
Yeah, that's right, I brought it. They did an NOI.
Yeah, we made them do an NOI for that. for
Okay.
Summers Road, And
Then
that
it makes
was,
sense to be consistent.
that's a lot less intrusive on the wetlands than
It
this.
was less close for sure.
Yeah. So I figured if we needed it there, we should have it here.
What did John and Tom think? Is that John and Tom? I can't see that well on my computer.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, if they did it for that, then as long as we can put those conditions in that we want.
Of course, the other thing with the company, is that, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with that, swale that comes through almost in front of Gary Weiner's house, right before his house. And then it goes underneath, and it's marked on the, GIS as a, solid blue stream going through there. And their wetlands guy said that, they didn't find it to be so. But they also said that the culvert may connect, they said that the culvert connects the Scantic River floodplain to the north with a large wetland complex to the south. And this culvert may connect these systems during large infrequent flooding events. However, due to the infrequency of flow, no stream bed or channel characteristics have developed. And the bottom line is, due to the presence of a perennial water course in the GIS and the obvious connectivity between wetland systems, I would recommend that you engage the Hampden Concom for further guidance. So, you know, they are looking for something.
Yeah.
I say, when I took the pictures and looked, you can't see any recent water flow. But the swale, either because of other runoff or the Scantic feeding it, it is very wet underneath.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't know what's causing the wetness. I don't know enough, but
That's why I was worried about them driving off that driveway down into it. It's obviously essentially wetland type land, and if they drive across it and start making truck tracks, it's going to turn into an erosion culvert. So we need some kind of conditions to try and protect from that.
They need to stay in the road.
Yeah, like they have to stay in the road.
Well, instead of a full NOI, could they do a, what's that, what is a smaller NOI? Help me out, Cindy.
Um,
I'm not sure what she means.
I'm not a NORAD.
No,
I'm trying to think.
Well, an ANRAD won't help because we won't get to make any conditions about the work.
Right.
So it has to be either an NOI or an RDA. I think,
remember,
don't you?
Mark is our contact guy again. He's not really keen on putting a ton of conditions on an RDA.
Yeah, he's not.
Then maybe we should go for the NOI as
Yeah.
Ted suggested.
And then we're consistent with what we had them go for before.
Yeah,
That had the potential for less
we
impact.
just
than this
won't make it
does.
very complicated. We'll just
Yeah.
yeah. We
Yeah.
we can
get
tell
the
them,
Yeah.
delineations.
we
Yeah,
can tell them
no,
to
that's
file,
right.
we can tell them to file the NOI, just don't bust on it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
abbreviated notice of impact.
Oh, abbreviated, yeah. Sure.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to call him in the morning.
Is everybody else okay with that?
Yeah, if that's in between and works, fine with me.
Good.
Okay, that's settled.
What else we got?
Do we need to vote or is that, it's just a suggestion anyway?
What?
Does that require a vote or is it just a suggestion anyway? So,
The only other thing you got on here is budget review.
Yeah, that's what she was after. Do we need-
we have planks still we have to talk about.
I have it right here,
What?
Daniel Plank. Judy, want to give them a little background on that?
Yeah, she's the one you went up to see on Stafford Road.
Yes,
And she has a very clear stream going across the front of her property. She wants to build a driveway and clear an acre of forest.
Oh.
It's the driveway that's the issue. And she had filed an RDA and was going to get a delineation and she filed for a MISA letter and hadn't gotten anything for many months, I think because she didn't complete all the stuff she sent in for MISA. And we've been signing continuations with her since like last July or something. In December, she just didn't get around to signing her continuation. So we went a month without a continuation. I wrote back and forth with her several times. And I said she could withdraw or we could just make the decision for her if she wanted, because I think it's going to come out the same. I think she needs an NOI. Or anything else that whatever she wanted, she needed to let us know. And she never really wrote back with any kind of a decision. So right now it's in limbo and I don't think we should just let it float because it will automatically become a fait accompli and we don't want to do that. So we either have to deny it completely and make her do a new one, or we could just make the decision, which I think it's pretty clear she's gonna need an NOI. She's already getting the MISA letter and she's already gotten a delineation. She just has to put it all into paper form and file it as an NOI. But she won't have to do all the continuations in between and we won't be in limbo.
And for that, have her do an NOI, because if she's got to bridge that brook, that to me, that makes it.
Yeah, and it's just having it hang where it is to our disadvantage. We need to have some kind of closure and move on to the NOI, I think. So we just make a positive determination essentially. And it shouldn't take her much to get the NOI ready and submit it. She's already engaged an environmental guy.
Makes sense to me.
Sounds good.
Now, what about the determination? We never.
We make a
voted on that.
positive determination and ask for an NOI.
So we should vote on that tonight.
We need to vote.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to vote on first of all, on the determination. It's been hanging out there. We never.
Yeah, we need
voted.
to vote on a determination. If you're willing, it would be positive that she needs an NOI because she has jurisdictional land she's got to go into with the
You
work.
know what number it is, top of your head?
Which positive?
Hmm.
That's the one that says requires an NOI.
Does
Bonnie
it
could
need to be
figure
on
it out.
the agenda before we vote on, or no?
No, not that.
Okay.
It doesn't. You still have a copy of the.
I
Cindy,
don't.
do you have a form you could look on?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm running through my
There's
head.
one in the back of my folder, but I don't know if the other people have one. You can
That
just look back there and read it.
How long ago was this?
Daniel Klein.
Would she file originally?
She filed an RDA.
Yeah. she filed
Request her
the
to determine
determination.
application. So would it be number one, the area described in the plans, area subject to protection on the act? Remove filing, dredging, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So requires a filing of the notice of intent.
That's it.
That's it.
That's positive number one.
Positive number.
That's right. That's the one.
She filed with us in July 26th of 2022.
So it's insane to keep an RDA going that long. So we just need to,
And
we'll
she
just
kept-
make the decision and she can move on.
and she
It
kept
looks like there's
finding,
new flagging up there too.
She said she got an environmental review.
Yeah.
And so the guy's just sitting there waiting to fill out an NOI essentially.
Yeah, we were just there over the weekend.
Yeah.
And there's,
I think she just has trouble moving on. She's very busy and she's far away.
We have to take a formal vote.
Yes.
Yes,
All right. So whatever that is, we want, positive number one.
well, I think you'd have to say that, in the determination filed by,
Right, but I don't
Daniel
have that, so
Yeah,
I can't read
filed
it.
by Daniel Plank, July of 2022, that we have come to the decision to have her file, we have come to the decision to issue a positive
Positive.
determination.
Number one, to file a NOI. I mean, yeah, no, NOI.
Yeah. So moved.
Second, and second, somebody.
Second.
There you go. All in favor? Aye.
I,
What else? That's everything. And that's, oh no, do we have to still do budget yet? Is there something in the budget we have to talk about?
The budget actually is just the same old as, last year. You know, office supplies are the same, I'm trying to find it.
While she's looking, got told by Bob that the joint agreement for a conservation agent with Ludlow has fallen through. Ludlow has decided not to do it. So we're back,
surprise.
so we're back to square one.
Okay.
So that's what happened today.
I feel bad for Bob. He's putting an awful lot of time into this with
Yeah,
getting no results.
yeah. There are many different towns.
I didn't bring the budget with me. The reason I put that in there, it's the same as far as the money for office supplies. It was around $550. MACC, everyone, wants that. That's roughly $600. I think it was $620, something like that. Those were like our office supplies and MACC. And then for salary, they didn't put in like my part-time. They're still putting in for a 30-hour a week person,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't me. And the advisory originally had 34 something for a salary. And then they dropped it down to like 27 something for a 30-hour work week. So that's the name of that tune.
What, is that just Hampden's part?
No, this is for this job.
For the clerk job.
Oh, okay. Wow.
They just won't find anybody at that salary. There's just,
No,
it's not
Not
gonna
for
happen.
$18 an hour. Absolutely not.
The
Not with any
agent,
experience or knowledge.
Yeah.
I
the
mean, even,
agent,
I think even to have somebody just sit there and answer the phone and take messages like a Ruby system is, they're
Yeah,
not
but
gonna
you
do it
need-
for that
Even,
price.
even taking messages, you need to have a lot of knowledge, like tell the people who they have to contact or what paperwork they have to file.
Mhm.
You know, and with the, electric company and other people that have called, like I had to give them the right direction, and you just can't have somebody answering the phone and saying, and writing down messages and then calling, you know, you or Ted or whoever. What's the purpose in having anybody there if you're gonna do that?
Maybe we need to write a letter from the whole committee to the select board or something like that. Saying,
'cause you still want out of what you're doing, right? And come back on the commission?
I enjoy coming in 3 hours a day, 4 days a week, but, I'm not giving them any more time than that.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a good idea that we write a letter then, because they're never gonna find anyone.
Yeah, or that, why would they even make the effort?
yeah,
Sounds like, yeah.
and Ted and I are only, although my paperwork doesn't say so, they said June of this year, so. You know, we might be stretched another year, but it isn't gonna go past that under any conditions, or I won't be married anymore. So,
Yeah,
And I'm getting into the same boat.
yeah,
And
I mean, I'm
my,
willing, I understand that there's a mess and I'm willing to stay while people get trained and comfortable, but they can't just keep pretending that they're gonna get a magical person that doesn't exist, so maybe we can write a joint letter or something.
my other,
MACC does put out training. I was reading about it last week. It came through, not necessarily for office staff, but for new people interested in the Conservation Commission,
Mhm.
that they can go through, and I believe it's like 18 different course, not really course, I think it's only,
Like credits or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the MACC system. They've updated it a bit. But it's good classes. They're really helpful.
yeah, and I think that, you know, if they're gonna go the route of hiring someone, if it's not someone, you know, that has been on the commission and knows the ins and outs, then that person should be required to have to take those classes before they, you know, become the assistant.
I agree.
Just so they would have an idea on what everybody's talking about.
Well, should we try it? Should we have Bonnie draft a letter, or Ted, do you want to draft a letter, or anybody else volunteer?
Draft a letter for what?
To the select board, just kind of explaining that we think we're not getting anywhere,
You mean as
or
far as,
whatever else you want to say.
What about having them posted on the Mass Municipal website and post the position there? A lot of municipalities post openings there. Maybe
I
you would get,
think Bob had back a year or so ago and got virtually no response.
well, I mean, the salary at $17 or $18 an hour, you're probably not gonna get
I
anybody with any background, but
think he had a different salary posted at the time
Even-
as a agent as compared to a educated
Yeah.
clerk.
Posted the 3-part one, I think, for East Long Meadow and whatever else it was.
Yeah, and the same thing with Ludlow. So we were gonna pay, I don't quote me, but I think Bob said we were gonna pay 1/4 or 1/3 of a full-time agent. At whatever salary that was.
oh, that was before the towns all pulled out.
No, but this was now what it got down to the Ludlow one.
Mm.
Ludlow was gonna have either 2/3 or 3/4, and we were gonna pay the other quarter or
right,
For
third.
what they have in the budget, is it, Cindy, you know more about that system. Do you think it's still worth posting this, what they have budgeted, and seeing if somebody is willing to get trained and then require the training?
well, if they're gonna do, I mean, for 24 something, whatever it was 24, it's like 17.30 an hour for 30 hours. So if, I mean, if you could find somebody that would take the position, and then the town or the department's gonna pay for the MAC training, and you require the training to be completed within 6 months of hire, or, 90 days of hire, and have them take the classes while they're at work. And then, reevaluate them after that's completed, then they would be of more value, and you could offer them hopefully a better salary at that point, and maybe, incentivize it that way.
That makes sense to me.
Mm.
Bonnie, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we could certainly try.
Well, I think we need a strategy of some sort, so maybe that would make a strategy.
Yeah, I can talk to Bob tomorrow. No, I can't. He doesn't work Thursday. I'll talk to Bob next week and, I'll draft up a letter to go over it with him and see what he says.
Okay. How's everybody else feel about that?
Fine,
Yeah, makes sense to me, yeah.
because my time like yours is short term.
Yeah,
One of these
well,
days,
the only reason I'm willing to hang around another year is Eric's agreed to be on some committee that is not gonna go more than a year, so he'll be done then, and I'll be done then.
How's your knee feeling, by the way?
It's getting better every day,
Good.
I
Good.
got stuck in the hospital a lot longer than I expected, but I'm home now, so that's all that counts.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, we're
What-
glad that you're on the mend, Judy.
Thank you, thank you.
That's about it.
do we have to do anything else?
No, Judy, you have anything else?
Nope,
Cindy,
No,
close the meeting.
it's a record.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Yeah.
6:35. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
Maybe stop recording.
Thank you, Ted and Tom and John.